I think it's a bad idea you guys do that chop thing so often. You're going to get like arthritis in your elbow so early on. This is such a stupid question.
I still don't think the offense can score.
Yeah, I'll make a bet. What are we betting?
I was asking TJ if he want to make a bet that they could score a touchdown, because I think that's wild.
Welcome, Canes fans and my college football family, to another Inside Insight show. Here we go. This is already showing kind of how this thing is going to go. A series where I bring on content creators and fans that root for our opponent so they can tell us a little bit more about their team. Now, I know that you're probably shocked because this is usually more of a one-on-one type situation, but I knew that Florida State fans like to talk trash and they rarely back it up, so I figured I would bring on multiple just in case one of them didn't show. So I think what we should do to kick this thing off is have each of you say something nice about the Miami Hurricanes, and then introduce yourself and tell people where to find you. And we'll start off here with my man Polk.
Say something nice about the Hurricanes.
Yeah, should be easy.
You guys were a dynasty in the 80s. That's my nice thing.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm Pope. My YouTube channel is 863 Seminole TV. So please go over there and check me out if you by chance are a Florida State fan. And like I like to say, I'm nothing special. I'm just a light-skinned dude on YouTube that talks Florida State football. So check me out if you're interested.
All right. Chris?
I think y'all figured out since the Georgia Tech game how to kneel. That's the nice thing I got.
Boy, I've kind of set myself up for this, haven't I? 4v1.
Did they though? Did they? I didn't.
I mean, I hope so.
I didn't get that memo.
I think they practiced it.
Don't worry, Canes fans. There'll be opportunities here to fire back. I want to let them have the floor while they introduce themselves. So where can they find you at, Chris?
Mostly on YouTube, but also you can download the WSBN app on any smart television or Apple TV or anything like that. And we go on every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. and we have a fan call-in show on Sundays at 4.
All right, good deal. Jen?
Well, I'm kind of a nobody. I just got invited because
the nice Miami thing.
Oh, say something nice about Miami. There you go.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what you told me to do.
Yeah, true.
Say something nice about Miami.
True.
You didn't mean I had to be specific.
All right. My apologies. Continue.
The water seems clear sometimes. But yeah, no, I'm just a nobody. I'm just a regular person. I don't have a podcast yet. But I'm working on it. So you can find me on Twitter. Or at my job, or in Memphis.
Hey, no, you post some funny stuff on Twitter. I got to give you that. I see the back and forth with some of the fan bases and stuff, and the trolling. So people will get a laugh out of it. I can promise you that.
I don't know. All
right, so
they may not.
TJ.
I'm a big fan of Miami's alternate uniforms at times. It's a shame that there aren't enough people that gets to see them live as much. But I do enjoy, the all black uniforms at times. The all whites are sharp too. So, and double fries, no slaw. Shout out Guthrie's.
All right. And can I actually ask you real quick, where did that come from? I don't know what the double fries, no slaw thing is.
Yeah. So Guthrie's is the big chicken tender place. You might have them kind of close to you. There's some in Alabama. I don't know if there's any in Tennessee or not, but
I've never seen one.
Everybody gets their gut box. So like people don't order coleslaw at 2 a.m. after being on the strip all night.
Fair.
So double fries, no slaw is just kind of the way to order it. It's definitely a Tallahassee thing. Though there are Guthrie's everywhere, that's certainly the way you get it there. So I don't know, just something different, something unique.
Awesome. Cool. I meant to ask you that earlier today and I forgot all about it. So let's
By the way, there is a Guthrie's in Memphis. Just saying.
Oh, so more West Tennessee. Okay. I don't have any here on the eastern side as far as I know anyways. It's all Chick-fil-A and Bojangles. So let's get into some football talk here. I promised these guys that I would make it brief, so we're going to jump right into it. And what I want to ask you right out of the gate is if you could give Miami Hurricanes fans something that Florida State does really well. It could be one specific thing or just something that comes to mind. Again, because there are a lot of Miami fans that don't closely follow Florida State up until game week. So what's something that you could maybe tell them that FSU does well on the football field? And we'll just go in order if you guys are cool with it. So we'll start with Polk.
Florida State. What does Florida State do well? Well, they're very versatile on offense. I think that is what they do. That's what they do well. A lot of weapons, and Jordan Travis knows how to find those weapons. So I'll be brief, but that's what I think they do well.
All right.
I'll also be brief, but I think Florida State does this better than any team in the country, and that's second half adjustments.
And I won't lie, that's something that Miami has struggled with. Miami's been out-coached in multiple games, so that's something I'm concerned about going into this one big time. Just keeping it real. Jen?
I don't think they get rattled.
Okay. DJ?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier, but I think they really rely on their depth. I think they're very comfortable playing in close games because I know that by the time they get to the fourth quarter, they're okay just, laying the hammer on LSU, laying the hammer on Duke, laying the hammer on other teams that have kept it close, but Florida State knows that their depth is going to win out a lot.
All right, so the next one, and this is the one that I'm actually most excited to get to, weaknesses. I want to know Florida State's kryptonite before Saturday. Polk, what is it? There's got to be something. Don't say there's nothing.
No, I won't say there's nothing. I'm very honest in my assessments. O-line can be very inconsistent at times. I don't think it's a bad offensive line, but we there's a saying that one guy can make an entire O-line look bad, right? And so I think we have suffered from that sometimes this year. So inconsistent O-line play.
All right.
I would go with, first off, Miami is not a weakness for us. Second, we may rotate our lines a little bit too much at times.
Jen, any big weaknesses that
I would say third and long. I think we all know that.
Is it my turn?
Yep, go for it.
I think just picking out which hotel we want to stay at in Houston for the national championship, just knowing what the best place to stay is. I think that can be tough at times. On a serious.
Go ahead. I was waiting for that answer. I was surprised it took until the very bottom right, to get to that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, wide receiver health is a question this week, and you just hope that everybody's back out there and healthy. But, you say that, and Jordan threw for more yards last week than he did any other week of the year. So I don't know. But you'd like to have Keon and Johnny out there without a doubt. So I think that's probably a concern for this week specifically.
Right. Now, have there been any updates from Norvell or the coaching staff when it comes to those two guys, the wide receivers, Coleman and Wilson?
No. I mean, he kind of alluded to just very, very vanilla. Like we're working to get back, but nothing significant that you could really say this is a good or bad thing.
Well, then if we could just briefly talk about the impact of potentially not having those guys. I mean, I know this sounds kind of like an obvious question or answer, but I mean, does that scare you a little bit more going into this game if both of those guys do end up being out? And question for anybody who wants to answer it.
I'll start. I don't know if scare is the right word, right? But it's a concern if you miss both, if you're not having both of your two top targets. I don't think you can sugarcoat that. Scare, I wouldn't quite go scare, but I'd much rather have them than not, obviously.
Fair.
Yeah, I second what Polk's saying for sure. But I think the biggest thing that you can take from it is each time this week that we've practiced, you haven't seen Keon nor Johnny going with their green jersey. And for us, that means that we can't hit them. Destin Hills was still in one, and he actually played in the last game against Pitt. Little, but he did play. So, I mean, I think it looks good for both of them to be back. But to completely derail the rumor that either one of those guys got in a lot of trouble, I don't know where that came from or who started it, but they didn't get in any trouble. And to be completely honest, Keon Coleman could probably kill somebody, and nobody's going to find out till after the season's over. So it's just not true.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually saw a little bit of that floating around on Twitter. I didn't want to bring that up because, you guys follow Florida State much more closely than I'm going to. So I was hoping somebody would bring it up and speak on it. So what about position groups or even just maybe areas in general that you think Miami actually has an advantage over Florida State going into this game? And it is understandable if you don't think there are any. That's an acceptable answer. But just...
I have one. Offensive line.
Okay. So in the trenches.
Yep.
Oh, hit me with one.
Advantage. Jen kind of took mine.
Oops.
If it's the same, that's fine.
Yeah, that's probably the only advantage. Kicker, maybe. I mean, Fitz has been pretty good, but I think you guys got a really good kicker. So
is he good from 50 plus like our guy Andy?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
I think you guys might have the advantage at kicker.
But we haven't needed to do that, so.
He needs to grow a mustache like Andy has. It seems to help.
That might work.
Well, I mean, Mike goes for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
He's not kicking the field goal. Even if he believes Fitz can make it, it's just not. If statistics say that he's going to make that fourth down, he doesn't go for it. So I would definitely say that both of them are correct. I think y'all's offensive line is better than consistently wise. Y'all's offensive line is better than our offensive line. I don't think your defensive line has an advantage over our offensive line, so to speak, because really LT's not been what he's supposed to be for y'all. Bane's been more than what I think people believed he would be in the first year. But you watched NC State do a pretty good job of keeping at least 3 hands on that guy at all times or letting him over pursue the pocket. So I'm thinking Florida State can do the same thing. And we like to run the ball the other way anyway. We don't much less go his way anyway. So
right.
But that would be the only one I got is kicking for sure. And then y'all's offensive line's consistent.
Okay, fair. TJ?
Yeah, I was a lot, and I probably shouldn't say this because he'll probably go for a Jermaine Johnson type game. But yeah, I was more worried about Bane before NC State really did limit him in this game. And so, maybe gave a little bit of a blueprint. Florida State should obviously key that way, but he is a freak and could go off at any time, and so I don't know that, the defensive line in general, I kind of agree. That's not I'm not super scared of your defensive line versus our offensive line, but if Bane goes off, in one of those games, Verse has gone off in the past, Jermaine Johnson has gone off in the past, he could change a game. Obviously, you'd hope Florida State devotes a lot of attention to him so that doesn't happen, but that would certainly, if you told me he was going to have 3 sacks, I'd be like, oh, hopefully hold on to all of them.
Yeah, I do think, I know this is coming from a Miami fan, so it doesn't mean much, but I do think that Miami's D-line can create some issues for you guys. I am worried about the mobility of Jordan Travis, of course, especially in the red zone. I think there'll be a lot of opportunities there if Florida State wants to use him in that way. But my biggest concern for us would be our guys getting tired kind of late in the game because our offense has been struggling to move the ball, 3 and outs over and over again, leaving the defense out on the field. And our defense plays so good in the first half of games, but in the second half, it just continues to fall off. So I'm really worried about. I'm hoping that Miami doesn't give you guys an early lead. I don't want to be playing from behind. I don't want to be playing catch up. Because then we're in big trouble, honestly. What about, I don't know if I'm getting a little bit ahead of this. I don't know if this is a touchy subject with Florida State fans. But is this the year? Is this, you guys have locked in an ACC championship slot, trying to make a run for the college football playoffs. I'm not asking you to come on here and me try to make a fool out of you and say, yeah, FSU's winning the Natty. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is is that something you see actually being potential could happen with this team that you guys have this year?
Who wants to take that? Do I want to take
I'll own that.
Yeah, I swear, as backwards as this sounds, I'm not trying to put you in a weird spot. I want to hear it from actual Florida State fans face to face, not typing on social media.
Yeah, I think when Norvell took over, if you'd have said that they were going to compete for a national championship or a playoff spot or however you want to like phrase that in year 4, I think everybody would been like, yeah, I don't know about that, man. Like we're a long way off. But obviously he's done a really good job with development at the quarterback position and a really good job in the portal, going out and getting some studs. And, you know, I think when you look at it, you just need, it's kind of, it's different than March Madness, but it's like, you just got to get in. Right. And then weird things can happen once you get in. And so like that, you got to get to 13-0. Right. And then you see what happens there. And I'll tell you, when the battles end, Florida State's NIL collective for football, like really started going ham with getting guys to return, like Jared Verse and Johnny Wilson and Trey Benson, and some of these guys. They started tagging their tweets with going for it all in 2023. And that was like last December. And so like that has been the goal. Like that they didn't do this just for fun or for the heck of it. And so, yeah, is that what this year is about? I mean, absolutely. Like, are they good enough to beat Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan? I don't know. Right. Like, let's see what the next few weeks look like. And let's see what some of those teams look like when they play. But like, yeah, Florida State is going to be upset if they don't make the playoff, but then if they don't win at all, I mean, yeah, they're going to feel like, not that they won't be proud of the year they had if they go 14-1, but yeah, I think that is the expectation for this year. Does it happen? We'll see. But that's where they want to be. That's what the goal of this year is. Are they maybe a little bit of ahead of schedule? Yeah. I mean, not a lot of coaches are, competing for a playoff spot in year 4 of a rebuild, but they're there and they have the talent to at least compete for it. And so, yeah, I think that this is the year. Now, I'm not saying they win it.
Right.
Don't quote me later.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think this is the year.
You have my word. I'm not going to do that. I just really want to know, like, if you guys as Florida State fans feel like that your team could compete with whoever is the number 1 team in the country, which of course is probably Georgia. And I'm just curious if you guys think that you could compete with them if it came down to that.
Well, I think that would be. I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
I think I would look at Ohio State, like if you was talking about if these 4 teams right now make it, and I don't know how they can because Michigan and Ohio State play, but just say somehow it stays the way that it does. I would rather play Ohio State than either Michigan or Georgia at this point because I want our guys to experience the playoff first. I don't want it to be against the best of those other 3 teams.
Right.
So can we compete with Ohio State with how their offense doesn't – I mean, to be honest with you, their offense reminds me of y'all's. They're either on or they're off. Like earlier in the season, Miami, they were on. There wasn't a problem. Ohio State the same way. So I would rather play them than either Michigan or Georgia. But I don't think people realize because they don't see or hear these guys all the time. But Florida State is going to lose some pieces. That's obvious. Jordan's gone. All of probably Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, blah. But the guys that are coming up behind them, like Hakeem Williams, the guy's an alien. I've seen him make better catches than Keon, not in a game, but as far as practice goes, I've seen the guy. Vendrevius Jacobs is a very nice one that made a couple of plays. In this last game, you start a true freshman in Conrad Hussey, and he gets an interception and forced fumble in that game. So I don't think Florida State falls as far as people believe they're going to. So is this our only shot? I don't think so. Does Florida State start playing 4 quarters of football is my question. Because if we play 4 quarters of football, I think we can compete with anybody. Our problem is we haven't played a full game all year.
Who is I know this is a little off track, but who's the next guy coming up after Jordan Travis that you guys have?
Luke Cromenhope.
Is he pretty hyped up, or I don't know a whole lot about the guy.
Oh, yeah. He's really good. I mean, it's going to be Tate, obviously. I mean, I would assume. And then Luke comes in. Yeah. Okay. He's an early enrollee, so. And super good.
All right. Hulk, what do you think?
About the quarterback situation or what? What was the original question? I forget.
If you think that Florida State has the potential to go all the way this year, you don't have to make a prediction. I'm not trying to put you in a tough spot, but just if you're capable of taking down the top team in the country, if it came to that.
I mean, yeah, I think when the season started, I think the expectation. Obviously, I'm not a player. I think as a fan, at least for me, it was like at least the ACC championship. Like that's the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And as the season has evolved, you go, well, wait a minute, expectations are now shifting because, I actually think we are ahead of schedule and the expectations have shifted. And one of the crazy things about this year, in my opinion, I don't know if there's been a dominant team in college football this year. I think that's the biggest thing that makes me say Florida State definitely will compete for the national championship this year is because show me who's dominated. I mean, you got Michigan by the numbers, but then you look at their schedule and go, well, Michigan hasn't really played a team with the pulse. I think this year more than maybe any year we've seen in a while is wide open, and FSU's right in the thick of things, in my opinion.
And then, I mean, even if Michigan did play somebody with a pulse, they probably got their playbook or something. So
right. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we can all get a little bit of a laugh out of that one. So, Jim, what do you think? I don't know if I got an answer from you.
Do I think it's realistic? I think it's as realistic as every other team that could be a top 4 team. Absolutely. I think Florida State matches up perfectly with Ohio State, actually. And I don't know if I can cuss, but I'm going to say F it. Give me Michigan too.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm not scared of Michigan. Georgia, on the other hand, that's a different beast. And yeah, I say give me Ohio State, give me Michigan. I'm good with that.
And I'm not saying that I would root for Florida State because that'll definitely be clipped out of context and used all over social media. But I'm just going to say, why am I doing this? If there was a situation where it was Florida State and Georgia, I wouldn't want Georgia to win. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Next question. Let's move on. You know what?
I do have to admit, I think it was 2003. Miami played Tennessee, and of course, y'all lost. Unfortunately, I was rooting for Miami. I did it.
I just don't want to see Georgia win it again. I'm sorry. I'm tired of hearing Georgia fans talk. They're always in my mentions, running their mouth, and we don't even play them at all, but they're always running their mouth on my social media and on my page and stuff. So I'm just tired of it. I'd like to see somebody else win it all. And if we end up losing to the team that wins the national championship, maybe that'll make it feel not so bad.
That's a great
right?
spin. Great spin.
Yeah,
Man.
Nice way to cope.
So, yeah.
That's tough times, man. I don't know what to say.
So with that being said, Canes fans, I'm trying. There's just not a whole lot of trash talking that I can do here. I'm trying. We can get into some game predictions here. I told you guys I would keep it super brief. I'll break the ice, but I think all of you are already aware of what my prediction is. I actually have Miami losing this game, as much as it pains me to do so, 38-16. I saw them on Florida.
16?
1 touchdown and 3 field goals.
Who's scoring the touchdown?
I'm gonna say they bring in Jakari Brown in a surprise package, and we're in the red zone, and he breaks off like a 15-yard run, puts it in, and
so y'all are gonna get to the red zone? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But otherwise, what we're gonna have to do. My original game plan was we just get into field goal range and we just kick it every time because Andy,
y'all like to play soccer. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Andy has some of the most points on the team. Andy is our MVP. So let's get it to like the 45-40. Who cares what down it is? Who cares what's going on in the game? Just kick the dang field goal. All right. Know that we walk away with 3, so we put some points on the board, and we'll just do that over and over and over and over again. And you know what? Those 3s.
I mean, I will say, not scoring a touchdown in a football game is nuts.
Those 3s add up pretty quick. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm just saying. Right?
I had some Miami fans get mad at me because they had some predictions, and I was like, how are y'all getting that score? Because 3 all added up does not get to 20, guys. Like, I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
But now, hold on now. Am I giving Florida State enough credit here? A lot of Florida State fans are dogging me saying that since it was 45-3 last year and you guys are even better this year, that it's going to be 50+. I think this is fair. Look,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
There's no way that Florida State. We can get into a little bit of trash talk now. Look, you guys have a pretty high-powered offense, but I know you don't know if Wilson and Coleman are going to play. I
think they play.
Miami's defense can hang with you guys for at least a half.
38 points is a sweet number for Florida State, in my opinion.
So then, here,
I think at least I think Coleman plays. I don't even think that's.
Yeah, Coleman's playing.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would think that they want to play, right? They definitely want to play. So fine, I got mine out of the way. We'll go in order here. You don't have to give a number if you don't want to. You can just say win or loss, however far you want to take it. But I'm putting it out there. I got the balls to put it out. 38-16. Polk, what do you think?
I mean, I like the score. I'm actually giving y'all a little bit more credit than you're giving your team. I got
I'll take that.
34-17. I actually struggled with that 17 because, like Jen said, I don't even know how y'all going to get 17. But
I don't know either.
I'm taking rivalry stuff into account and things happen. 34-17. Of course, FSU continues its march to the college football playoff.
I'm not giving y'all any respect. Sorry.
If you say 0.
No.
Okay.
I don't think we should. No. But I think Florida State does the normal because we've done it already this year a couple of times. We do it against y'all. It's like we like 45. So I think it's 45 to y'all's 9. I think you kicked 3 field goals. That's what I believe.
I don't like that 45 number, but that one just stings a lot because I was at the game last year when it was 45 to 3. So I don't like that number at all. But okay. Jen will be nice to Miami.
No, not at all. Well, I'm going to be nicer than Chris was, but I think 42-12 with nothing but field goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
My man TJ. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll bring it home. I'll be nicer to Miami than you were with 16 points. I'll go 41-17. I'll give you guys the extra point. But I truly think that
really.
Yeah, I've got it like I don't know.
Hey, you want to make a bet?
Like 27-10, and then Florida State just scores 12. Like depth, like fourth quarter, like Florida
you're
State
giving
puts a
it
couple in.
garbage
You guys
time? Is
score
that what
one on
you're
the
doing?
backups. 41-17.
Yeah, they're definitely being nice.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
What was this talk?
Well, our back, like we have like our third string in. They leave the starters.
garbage
I
time.
see. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
30 seconds left.
man, I think I'm giving Miami more credit. I actually think the first half is going to be competitive. It would not shock me if it's like
I think it'll be competitive
17 to
with the
10.
defense, but I still don't think the offense can score
I don't think they
because
score.
they haven't proven they can.
But if it's like 17-10 in the first half, that wouldn't shock me. Or even like 14-14. I don't know, something close. But then that second half, FSU is going to pull away like they've done to pretty much every team this year.
So then let me ask you guys from a Florida State perspective, and then I'll let you guys get out of here. And then hold on. Before we do that, Jen, I heard the word bet leave your lips.
Yeah.
But
I was asking TJ if he want to make a bet that they could score a touchdown because I think that's wild.
I got Miami with 1 touchdown. Yeah, I'll make a bet.
Okay.
What are we betting?
I don't know. You still owe me gummies though. So
I do. Are you going to
you
game
do.
this weekend? I'll bring you some gummies this weekend.
yeah, okay.
All right.
okay. So we talking like a pack of gummies, a whole box of gummies? What's the
These are not like these.
No,
yeah,
these-
like
no.
that.
Yeah,
no,
no.
I should have specified that. My bad.
Yeah.
I
Sorry
see.
about that.
I
Not like
see.
fruit
Can,
snacks.
can I get in on
Sorry
this?
about that.
Yeah. Send me your.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so we do have a little bet going. Okay, Jen doesn't think Miami can score a touchdown. Y'all let her know in the comments. Polk thinks we can. TJ thinks we can. Chris, you didn't give us a touchdown either, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing I wanted to ask you guys is, that the quarterback situation at Miami is just an absolute shit show. There's no other way to put it.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and I'm just being honest. I'm being blunt. I like to keep it real. Who would you? This is such a stupid question. Which quarterback would you guys prefer to see Miami march out onto the field on Saturday? Go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
By all means, start the freshman if you dare.
Okay.
I kind of want to watch Tyler sack himself again because that's fun.
Ja'Cory Brown, been there, done that. I mean, at least it gives you a mobility aspect, but whatever. And then, TVD's going to throw a few. So, good luck.
I wish I could defend this or fire back, but there is nothing for me to say. So,
Tyler's going to be probably the best player on our team. Casper the Ghost is going to do a good job at sacking him. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe he just throws it up.
It is what it is.
So on that note, I don't know why in the world I chose to end on that one. That one's not even – I got 3 pages of notes here, and that's not even on the list. So I don't know why I asked that question. Guys, show these people some love. I feel like that, I did kind of bring together the Avengers of Florida State fans. I think that you guys got to give me some credit for that. I took on the 4v1. No, I wasn't able to fire back a whole lot because there's just not a whole lot to say. And I know this game's been discussed to death all week, but still looking forward to it. I know as backwards as it may sound to you guys, I'm still looking forward to this game because, we're coming to a close in the regular season. Miami versus Florida State is always hype. The atmosphere is always fun, at least before kickoff when there's still a little bit of hope for both teams. We don't know the outcome yet. So I just want to thank all of you guys for jumping on my show late tonight on a Wednesday. Make sure that everybody shows these people some love, man. I'm going to link all of their social media, their channels, all their stuff down in the comment section. I'll link it and pin it. I'll put it in the description as well. So show them some love. You can jump on their channels and social media and talk some trash. I got to give them one of these to get out of here.
I got one more question.
Yo, I think it's a bad idea you guys do that chop thing so often. You're going to get like arthritis in your elbow so early on. Like I wouldn't keep doing that as often as you guys do it. I think it's a bad idea.
Well, we're good. Concussion, he keeps hitting the ground. I'll take my arthritis. Your
quarterback throws like he has arthritis in his elbow.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. Y'all gonna wear those glow in the dark jerseys or no?
Miami will never wear an alternate uniform ever again as long as Mario Cristobal is here because he said no thank you year 1. He finally gave him a pass year 2, and we crapped the bed. So I can promise you it will be traditional from now until he's gone.
Yeah, losing in something that glows in the dark is insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and I even bought. I bought one of the shirts. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I bought one of the shirts. It's all right. I appreciate y'all. Go Canes and
go Noles.
We'll see y'all on Saturday.
All right, Coop.
Thanks,
Bye,
Coop.
guys.
Bye, guys.